Hello everyone, it's Jennifer McCreath. It is Sunday. I'm supposed to be watching football, but I am taking a break to talk a little politics. Surprise, surprise. Sunday, October 5th, 2025. I want to talk about something that's really bothered me, and perhaps I've already ranted about this. I can't remember. Senior moment. 2 elections at the same time really sucks. And I also want to talk about how there should be fixed election dates for provincial elections. I know, people got angry. Premiers were stepping down and being replaced. Only the party chooses who the new leader is of each party. But in this case, they got to choose the new premier. We saw it federally as well. Trudeau stepped down. The Liberals chose Carney to be their new leader. He became a prime minister before he ever had even one vote from the public. Provincially, what do we have? Dwight Ball stepped down early, and Andrew Furious stepped down early. I'm sure there's been others. But people were angry. They said, let's change the rules. Even if you have a majority government, if your premier steps down, you must call an election within 12 months, because we don't want unelected premiers running our province for a long time. That's what they said. That's what they yelled. So a rule was changed, and we have a brand new loophole. If you're in power, you don't have to have a fixed election date. You can just have your leader step down, and then you can keep people guessing. Call that election within a year, any time you want. It can be 1 day after the leader resigns, 1 month, 6 months, 11 months. So that's what happened in 2025 here in Newfoundland and Labrador. The provincial Liberals who are in power picked their new leader, and they kept us guessing right to the very end as to when this election would be called. They literally waited till the very last day. And I think that gives them an unfair advantage. At the same time, what I'm really angry about is the fact that the provincial election happens just 6 days after the St. John's municipal election, and 12 days after all other municipal elections in Newfoundland except for Conception Bay North, where they had forest fires and that's been postponed. It is very difficult to get media attention on municipal politics in general, and even more so when there's a provincial election happening. And it's even tougher, in my opinion, in St. John's, because we have what I feel, and others have told me, is a media cult. I'm not going to come right out and say it, but I think there's one particular party that has their fingers a little too close to some of these media outlets, and certain stories and certain polls or certain lack of polls only come out when it's favorable for said party. Now, here we are. We've had the Canada Post strike. St. John's mail-in votes lost in the mail, so they changed the date. The election is now October 8th. And you can vote in person now. But guess what's happening that same night? Before the polls close, we're having a live provincial televised debate. I know, it was booked in advance. At the same time, why are we having a provincial debate just 6 days before voting day? And why are we having a provincial debate the same day the city capital is going to a municipal election? I think this is going to hurt voter turnout. People are not going to get out and vote in the last minute. One, because it's very difficult to get to the polls. If you can only vote in person, they've taken the mail thing away. You now have to get a ballot physically to a drop box or get yourself physically to the poll. And now there's a debate on TV, so people are going to watch the debate provincially, and they're not going to care about the municipal stuff. And I just find that really angry. It makes me angry, disappointed, concerned, even a little depressed. I've worked very hard in this municipal campaign. For the first time in my life, I'm not a candidate. I'm helping someone else who's the candidate. And I'm sure there'll be more videos on that later. But, yeah. I can't even watch the provincial debate live because I have municipal responsibilities. I'm an agent and a scrutineer now, so I'm going to make sure that the municipal ballot count is done fair and proper. I'm going to be in the room watching them count all the ballots. And that is my right as an agent, and that is all candidates' right in the city of St. John's. But yeah, provincial election. It should have been called a lot sooner than this. I'm all for fixed election dates. Maybe I'm old school, but if you vote in a party, you're voting in a party. That's the way the Westminster parliamentary system works. In the US, you have a separate vote for the parties, the senators, what do you call them? Congress peoples. Where here in Canada, you don't vote for the leader, you just vote for your local rep. So if the Premier or the party or both decide that the Premier should step down early, it's well within their rights to pick a new leader. And too bad. If you don't like that party, don't vote for them in the first place. But yeah, I'm going to cut this one off. We're getting up to 6 minutes here. And I just wanted to throw those comments out because I think we need more people talking about this. Thanks for watching.